they went camping. In the heart of autumn, a group of friends, Mia, Leo, Sarah, and Jake, decided to spend a weekend camping in a dense, quiet forest. They had heard stories about the place from locals, whisperings of the lost pines, where shadows grew long, and the wind seemed to carry voices of its own. Their campsite was a cozy clearing beneath towering pines, where they pitched tents, built a fire, and settled in for an evening of laughter and ghost stories. As the moon climbed higher, painting silver streaks through the branches, the forest took on an eerie calm. The usual night noises, chirping crickets, distant hoots, had quieted, replaced by a strange, almost unearthly hum that echoed faintly through the trees. "What was that?" Mia whispered, her voice barely breaking the silence. Leo shrugged, laughing nervously. "Probably just the wind. Or a deer. I mean, it's the woods." But Jake furrowed his brow. "I've been camping my whole life. Never heard wind that sounded like that." They exchanged glances, an unspoken agreement passing between them. Armed with flashlights and a mixture of excitement and fear, they followed the strange sound into the shadows. The hum seemed to grow louder as they walked, leading them deeper into the forest. But the deeper they went, the more elusive the source became. Every time they thought they were close, the sound seemed to shift, leading them off to another part of the woods. It was as if something, or someone, was toying with them, staying just out of reach. Hours passed and exhaustion began to set in. Shra stopped, her face pale in the moonlight. "This isn't right. It's like we're going in circles." Just then, the hum stopped. Silence, thick and heavy, settled over them. They shone their flashlights around, revealing only empty trees and shadows stretching across the ground. With a collective shiver, they turned to head back to camp. But just as they took the first step, the hum began again, this time directly behind them. They whipped around, their lights catching nothing but darkness. Huddling together, they made their way back to the campsite in silence, the hum following at a distance, persistent but always just beyond sight. By the time they reached their tents, the sound had vanished, replaced by the familiar rustling of the forest. The friends barely slept that night, each of them too haunted by the mystery of the sound to relax. When morning finally came, they packed up quickly, eager to leave the lost pines behind. But as they reached the edge of the forest, Mia looked back, certain she heard the hum once more, faint and fading. No one else heard it, but they all felt the same lingering chill, a reminder that some mysteries were better left undiscovered.